Welcome to the virtual suprainguinal fascia iliaca block module. This video will be a quick orientation in terms of the equipment and capabilities of this particular simulator. So I'm going to first describe the details of where and how we can move. So first off, on your joystick on your controllers, on your left or right hand, if you go right or left once, you're going to turn 45 degrees like so. And going back. The other thing you can do in terms of moving around with this virtual environment is by holding the joystick down. And if I hold the joystick down this way, as you can see, there is a blue circle. And what I'm going to be able to do is once I hold that down and let go of my joystick, I'm going to transport to that area. In addition, I can also move around the virtual environment by simply physically going to that particular location as well. A few things going around the room here. You can see also if I move outside the area, there's a red line there that indicates that I cannot move beyond a set boundary. In front of me here is a reset button. So if you want the virtual environment to start from the beginning again, or if you want to practice the procedure over, you just simply press this reset button and it's going to reset the entire module for you. Going to my left here, I have a procedural checklist, and you can actually interact with this and read with it if you want to. So as you can see, when the hand is highlighted white, I simply hold my middle finger down and I can pick up this checklist. And as you can see here also, with all other objects, I can move it around the room. And when I let go, it'll stay in that particular location. Other things here include a block needle, a 20cc syringe, a 5cc syringe, and a prep stick. And I also have a table here as well that I cannot move. Going to the ultrasound machine here. We have the ultrasound machine here with the various probes, gel, and wipe as well. And we also have various functions here, including depth, gain, focus, freeze, and Doppler. To turn the ultrasound machine on, I simply just have to hold my middle finger again on the controller. As you can see, my virtual hand has a pointed finger there. And I simply press the button and it's going to turn on. To change the depth, as mentioned earlier, you can simply just press the button by going to the depth there, changing the gain, focus, freezing, and Doppler as well. In addition, on the left here, we have a vital signs monitor, including EKG, blood pressure, and pulse ox. And I can also grab this and move it around the room if I would like. We have, if you notice, we have two screens here. One is on the ultrasound machine, and we have a separate screen here as well. We can move the ultrasound machine like so, or you can also just move the screen to wherever you want to in the room, like so. In front of me here, we have the patient. The patient for this particular module does not interact, and you cannot talk to this particular patient. But as you can see here, there is an area that's prepped. And in order for us to actually scan the patient, first off, you can adjust the height of the bed. So there are buttons actually attached to the ultrasound machine here that you can press up or down to move the bed. For us to actually start the block, simply do as you normally would. Grab the ultrasound machine, or sorry, the ultrasound probe. You grab the gel, and then you put some gel on the actual probe itself. As you normally would, you can tap on the probe to determine the orientation. You also have a wipe here if you want to remove the gel as well. To actually scan, simply, again, same as you normally would, you hold on to the ultrasound probe here. I'm going to adjust my screen. And as you can see here, you can scan the desired sono anatomy if you like. For this particular module, because we're focused only on the suprainguinal fascial block, we only have the anatomy for that particular block. As you can see, once you go outside of that area, the anatomy becomes less distinct and obscure. In order for us to do the block itself, we can use the prep stick here. We can grab onto it. You can prep the skin. As you can see, there's no pink color that shows up on the skin. However, you can still do the actions. For the skin infiltration, we have the 5cc needle here. You can interact with it by removing the cap. You can actually inject the skin, and you can press the syringe down like so. You're unable to recap the needle. However, you can put the equipment on the side here. With the block needle, same situation. You can place the ultrasound probe like so, as an example. You can see the needle enter the skin. And with this particular module, as you enter the skin and fascial layers, you'll get a subtle tactile feedback on the controller. And as you can see here on the screen, you can slowly see the needle coming into view. When you're happy with the right area you want to inject local anesthetic, you simply have to hold on to the needle. And at the same time, you want to also hold down the middle finger and press the trigger finger at the same time. With this module, you cannot ask an assistant or yourself to inject. However, you can simply just tell the research assistant what type of local anesthetic, what concentration and volume you give, as a way for us to determine how much local anesthetic you want to administer. And finally, for the needle, if you are in the incorrect plane or incorrect location and you press inject, you're going to hear a sound like so. And once you're completed the block and you'd like to practice again, as I mentioned earlier, you can simply press the reset button right over here, and it's going to reset the module all over again. And that concludes the orientation. If you have any additional questions, please address it to the research assistant for this study.